cast. And also, we want to thank you, Vic, who is sponsoring this panel. They've got the new Firefly cargo crate. You can see it listed there. We definitely want to get to your questions very soon, but first of all, Nathan, I wanted to start with you. It's impossible to think of anybody else playing this part, but what was it that you think sealed the deal? Or how did you become the guy in your audition for this?
I'll take this one, guys.
It's a video that's gonna.
Oh, damn it. Jewel, not Jewel, never mind Jewel. Summer, you were there when I was auditioning. And I kept going back into the room. I don't know how I got the part, honestly. I kept going back into the room, and back in 5 times they called me back into the scenes again and again. And then someone said, they feel you're doing them the same every time. And I said, yes, I am. No one told me to do it any differently. They said, yeah, well, they weren't funnier. I said, done. Done. I came back in and I said, just so you know, I didn't know. So now I know. Now if you think I couldn't take it, I can take it. Action. This is what. But it was dicey. It was dicey. When I ran into you in the hallway, you know that? When I ran into you in the hallway, I was shaking.
I was holding myself in the corner. I didn't even know you went in the corner.
And I left and you said, how did it go? And I said, really good. But I don't think we're up to the same part, so don't worry.
Well, Summer, I think that brings up a good point, is that you came in this show, this is your first big role. How did you even approach that? You had such a tough job. Your role was so internalized. How did you approach your part?
There goes my elbow, bro.
I guess I didn't know any better yet. So.
Could you turn up the monitors a bit?
She said, the people at the back are always the loudest.
Well, Adam.
No.
I think Jamestown is my favorite episode. There's a real sweetness to Jane, even though he's a complicated man, right? So how did you bring that kind of sweetness to this guy that's also kind of a jerk?
I was raised north of Chicago by a couple of parents that were normal and, they were mean and nice on the same day, and I had older brothers who beat the crap out of me all the time. So I was from a loving family with bullies as brothers, and it was great. I love them now. I don't know. I was just pretending to be somebody else.
But may I, guys? But here's the thing, Adam. On paper, Jane, entirely unlikable. Entirely predictable in that he'll screw you, given the chance. And yet adored by millions.
Well, I've said this before, I was really worried that Joss was going to kill me off. And I wanted to keep working with you guys, so I decided to try to make him lovable.
Job well done. Yeah, try as we might, we couldn't get you fired.
Yeah. Ariel came along, I was reading it going, oh no. This is where it ends, right? Yelled down to my wife, honey, that's it. 6 and out.
And the last page went, oh, okay.
That's a total fabrication because as everyone knows, actors, when they get the script, they go right to the last page first and see if they're still in it. Okay, not yet. You know that's true.
That's one of the days I remember everything. And so some days I don't remember entirely. There are days where I have perfect recall of everything. The space station with Jewel and Sean playing Find the Extra. Remember Find the Extra? Whenever there's a crowd scene and you're just kind of hanging out, there's a crowd of people around, there's always one person, as you scan the crowd, one person's like this. Kind of hungry and wide-eyed and like they're gonna maybe pounce, I don't know. But I would play the game. I would say, okay, let's play Find the Background Guy, and I would be the background guy, and I would go into the background somewhere and say, guys, just ignore me, just ignore me. And then they would turn around and try to find me, and I'd be like. Those days I remember crystal clear. Your day in the air lock. Yeah, crystal clear. Yeah, you're really good.
You're pretty good too.
Thanks.
I like that little move with the little column thing, it would click. That was yours. We were allowed to make up stuff with doings and props and stuff, more so than we were with words. The words we could have changed something.
Lines are pretty solid, aren't they? The lines, yeah, that's the golden.
We could like, I'm gonna do this with that thing. Oh yeah, that's good, fill it in. So we did.
Nice.
Well, what was kind of a typical downtime like on set? What do you guys do, in between things? Because actually shooting the show can be somewhat boring, right? When you're not actually on screen.
I don't know, we sat on that couch in the common area that smelled like cat pee.
It was not so even. Yeah, it was musty. It was bad.
It was gross. Yeah, those are my fondest memories. Of cat piss on the set of Firefly. In the fondest way. I really like that couch.
And we would just talk about
It
it.
was very comfortable. Yeah, we would eat our lunch in there if we could.
Yeah.
I remember that. There was this food truck that was on the lot on the Fox side. Do you remember this? And I had to keep weight on because it was my dream job. And I would eat these grilled cheese sandwiches every day from this food truck. And they would become more and more elaborate every day, avocado and bacon and that. And I remember sitting in that room, smelling cat pee, and eating my grilled cheese sandwich.
I came up to Jewel one day, she was chowing on this jelly donut, just kind of slow. I said, how you doing? She goes, full. And then, after we filmed the pilot, it was a few weeks later, and I was walking down Robson Street in Vancouver. It was a beautiful, sunny day, and people are out enjoying the weather. It was such Vancouver was such a beautiful city, and I see this girl walking towards me on the street, and she's long and lanky, and I'm going, gorgeous, oh my God, she's so Jewel!
I remember that creepy day.
Wait, tell us from your side. Tell us from the approach from your
I
side.
just remember this guy half block distance away with this like slow growing smile. I realized it was him before I realized it was me, and I was like, me.
Freak me out.
I'm curious, now, because everybody asks me this all the time, but now that Joss is one of the most powerful people in Hollywood, directing these giant movies, are we more or less likely to get more of this show?
Oh, jeez. Who's touching it? Who's not touching it? Who wasn't touching it?
It's up to Joss. That's up to Joss. It's in his ball.
Is it?
Is it?
Falls in his court.
There's a lot of legalities concerns and
Yeah, I think
things
it's
and
a
money and
legalities
numbers.
thing.
And,
I just feel like it's, I don't want to put it on Jaws. Because,
It's on Fox. It's on Fox.
Here's the thing, I told you.
That's not the
When is there? Could there be? What if there was a? And I get it. At the same time, we all had what I would call my dream job. We were in the perfect position. Everything was great. Even the challenges we faced them together, and we were all in it together, and we were all pulling for the same thing. A great show. And I love it. I love every bit of it. It's really hard to look at that kind of stuff and say, give me more, because it's not enough. Oh my God, it was everything. It was everything. How could everything not be enough?
Sean and I want more. Last night we had dinner, we were in an Uber, and we were not talking about Firefly in any way. You remember this? You were on your phone, you're like texting away, and I was like, something about Netflix this, and Sean said, very absentmindedly, I can't believe they haven't picked us up.
Sean, I was revisiting some episodes. I know it's hard to remember specific scenes, but there's one in particular I loved where you're operating on Jane and you're basically saying, every time you're shot or whatever, you're going to be on my table. So, basically you're saying you're going to do your job, but also kind of telling them how it was. What was it? What was it kind of like getting to be? You were the normal guy on the show, but then sometimes you got to step up and put Jane and other people in your place. How much fun was that?
No, that was fun. It was good fun. It was always fun with Jane.
I always try to give you incentive not to like me. Like shoving you or just like leaving smells. So you would disdain me and friend.
I'm uncomfortable.
So it's working.
It's method. It's method. Still in the method.
Well, I'm going to open it up to some audience questions. I'll go first.
Can I ask a question first? I have a question for Summer. Summer, I used to give you a really hard time on set and stuff. I was like, really nice things about your performance. Like, that was wonderful. That was so powerful. I'll be specific about my compliments and said, it really was wonderful. And then I would end it with, if you like eating horse shit. And I did that to the girls all the time. I always said, Summer, this is to toughen you up, because the real world out there is hard. So I'm toughening you up now. You're in this safe little, and you're doing it. Did it work? Did I toughen you up for the real world, for the challenges and the hurdles?
I can't thank you enough.
You just did. Yes.
Hi, I actually have an incredibly nerdy question for Adam.
I love your coat, by the way.
Broadside Independence War, patches, all the things for the show tonight. Okay, so super nerdy, and probably an unpopular opinion. I've always really felt like Jane had massive feels for Kaylee, and in the pilot, when Kaylee is being stitched up, we see Jane sitting outside of the window, like just crouched there watching her get stitched. And I was wondering if there was any kind of, what your process was in that scene and if there was any intent.
You presume too much. You presume I was looking forlornly at her. It was a
So I have to rewrite all my fiction.
Did you write the fan? You wrote the fanfic?
So wait, you're the one responsible for that fanfic? Like Amy Jane stuff?
I'm really sorry.
Security.
Guys, reading fan fiction is like looking up like horrible accident photos.
Yeah,
I can't unsee that.
Yeah, it's like a nightmare you have after too much typing.
I never read much of it.
That's probably
But you wrote a ton.
Hi, I'm Susie. I'm the director of Round-Hood Events for Fandom Charities, and I just want to thank you guys. You have done so much, more so than any other fandom around. The heart and the soul that you put into your characters. And we have a cast from Independence War that flew from around the nation just to be here today, just so we could show their event after you guys. And without you guys doing that, we would never be able to do the Can't Stop the Serenity events, to raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for so many amazing organizations around the world. And I want to thank you so much. And I know you just put your fan
Okay, great. No, I don't think that was that.
Your fans are going to be here. I'm not asking because I'm not allowed to, but if you could just stay around for a bit.
Hi, I'm Lauren.
Who are you dressed as? I'm just kidding.
Thank you all so much. I'm a huge fan of all your work and of the show. My question for you is, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of people who are really huge fans of your work and huge fans of the show. And I wanted to know, because there are so many brown coats and so many people are huge followers and hugely devoted, is that something that is still inspiring to you as actors so many years after? Is that something that's a little intimidating, or is that something that still gives you energy creatively? Or I wondered how you all felt about that.
Let's see what Sean says.
I'm just wondering.
Let's see.
I have a Firefly tattoo. I'm just wondering how that
You what?
lands.
Has it inspired? I mean, it inspired. I think for me, as maybe for you, like Nathan, you say like that job is sort of like you kind of set the bar, right? So, and I think like, especially me, and sometimes I go into like my spiritual lens, and I'm sort of like, what's my greater purpose in this whole crazy industry? And to be a part of something extraordinary is certainly something that. I feel so grateful to have experienced, and for me as an actor, I think it's kind of like bumped it up, like, oh, I know that this lightning in a bottle can happen, so I'm looking for that, so maybe I've gotten, kind of screwed, because it's so rare, but I think it's just, it shifted my perspective in regards to sort of like what am I looking for as an artist and as an actor. And it can't help but be a little inspiring to sit here in this room with all y'all. Joel thinks I'm smart.
I'm Janae from Black Girl Nurse, and I just want to say that what I love most about the show, what really drew me in, was seeing these amazing female characters and these amazing. Thank you so much for all with the Black Girl Nurse. I remember watching and thought, oh my God, that little girl is people in those roles playing diverse and interesting characters, being a mechanic, being genius, kick-ass, whatever it was. Zoe's character, it was so amazing to see women playing these roles alongside strong male characters and never being drowned out by it. So thank you all of you for being part of this program.
When people say that kind of stuff, don't you kind of feel like we just got really lucky?
Yeah.
Like, people go, oh, thank you so much for this role, and it's like, hey man, I lucked out. Like, I just happened to be in the right place at the right time and scored, you know, an incredible gig, right?
Absolutely, thank you.
Do any of you have any roles that you're interested in, or have you ever thought of putting something together like on YouTube yourself to kind of not do Firefly per se, because that's a Glau's thing, but to put something together for yourselves?
I was thinking about doing a thing about two guys that were in a sci-fi show.
Wait. Tell me more.
One guy goes out and does great things, the other guy comes like does a concert, and they appreciate it. It's a whole digital thing we planned. We have a game on the phone. It's I want to do it, but someone just told me it's been done. So. I have literally no desire to build something on my own. That's a tremendous amount of work and responsibility and stress. I am not built for it. I am not built for that. No. I am built for, like what Jules said, being in the right place at the right time. Better to be lucky than good. Totally cool to pick coattails, to ride coattails, and just pick the right coattails to ride. And then my particular forte, taking credit at the end.
All these years, nothing ever changes.
Said it before, said it again. The show would not have been what it was without Nathan at the head of our department.
Agreed.
Day out, episode out, Nathan was there with the most workload, and he carried us on his shoulders to make us all better. So, we love you for it. Thank you.
I've said it to you, and I've said it at lots of Q&As, that you had taught me how to behave as the lead of the show. You knew everybody's name. You were incredibly welcoming to everybody that was new, all the guest stars that came on. You were like, that's the bathroom, that's craft service, this is so-and-so. You said, let's play the name game, and make sure that we all learned everybody's name, even, somebody up in the production office. And that is a testament, I think, to the good energy that flowed down to everybody. And it taught me a lot. It taught me how to behave as the lead of the show, and yeah.
It's like you guys are trying to make me cry.
It's what a good leader and captain do. That's what captains do.
I was wondering, you guys got to get away with saying a lot of different things because you said it in Chinese. I was wondering, what was it that you saw after you saw what the translation was? You got the biggest kick that you got away with saying that.
Chinese swears are meaningless to us. Everyone in the universe ought to die. The explosive diarrhea of an elephant. You can totally say that stuff on TV. But I said it in China, and someone went, oh, that's not nice. I said, I know one phrase in Chinese, and here it is. And they went.
This is the right side.
We were there.
So when you took him to the Alliance base, they said he wasn't a shepherd. What do you guys think he actually was?
Well, I actually know.
I do too.
And I think it's out there. I think they've done it in comic books, right? So it's safe, totally safe to, spoiler alert. Pretty cool, if you want to get this, you say.
She doesn't know, tell her.
You say you're the
He was a highly ranked Alliance officer at one time. He was an intense guy that did some really nasty things. And then, obviously, had a change of heart, lost his taste for that kind of stuff, and changed his life entirely. But it's a Malcolm Reynolds says to him in Serenity, you're going to have to tell me about how you know so much about it. You know a bunch of this stuff. He goes, yes, I do. You're going to have to tell me about that someday. No, I don't. Not something he wants to revisit. Oh, I'll choke when I think about it. Intense stuff. Yeah, nice stuff.
I think that brings up a good point. In between Serenity and in season 1, before you knew you weren't coming back, did you guys talk about season 2 at all? What it would have been like?
Did we talk about it? We lamented. We still hung out together. We still had parties. We still hung out and did stuff. And we lamented. Yeah. We grieved.
Yeah. But the weird part about it is, you know, people, the attitude that we get when the fans come up to us and talk about the show is, oh, I really miss it, and I'm so sad, and you know, we get that, but at the same time, for us in a very weird way, it kind of continued because we all stayed in each other's lives, and the most important part, I think, to all of us was the people, and we got to see each other still, so it kind of carried on in an odd way. So there's not a whole lot to miss. Yeah, it would be great for all of us to get together again and do it again, but you know, we did keep those friendships, right?
Yeah, we were fortunate
Yeah.
that way.
Nathan returned my calls.
He didn't give you the new cell? He didn't give you the new cell number?
No.
I got it. Shut up.
So my question's for Joel. So you're on 2 of my favorite sci-fi shows, Stargate Atlantis and Firefly.
Hey.
Can you tell us
Which one's better?
how you transition from doing, you know, one sci-fi show and one certain kind of cast to an established cast and dealing with families?
You know, I wish it was a lot more complicated than it really is. A lot of time had passed between doing Firefly and Stargate for me. With Stargate, it was very different because that cast had been at it for a very long time. They knew each other really well. They had their inside jokes, and I was the new kid. I'm like, where do you guys have lunch? And with Firefly, we were starting something fresh and something new. But I had a great time on Atlantis because it shot in Vancouver, which is where I am from and where I live. So there's nothing better than having a job at home, obviously. But you know, Firefly is always, it's like this weird relationship that never worked out. You know, it's like the one that got away. And there was so much very rich storytelling to be told there that never got to see the light of day. Or at least we never got to perform it, and it has that bittersweet quality.
Hi, my name's Ron. This is actually for Nathan, and I am a huge cast fan.
Your Excellency.
And I'm just wondering why it canceled after 8 seasons, because I saw avenues that could go in different directions for the show, and I just wanted to get an insight on that.
Yeah, you know what? I get these kinds of questions. Why'd they cancel your show?
They literally
I get a lot of those questions.
They couldn't figure out a way to incorporate slaughter any further, so.
Nobody calls the actors and says, here's how it all went down, and here's why you got canceled. Sometimes you read it in the paper. Totally cool. You know what? It's not the people being nice to people industry, it's the entertainment industry.
Exactly.
It is an industry. To I don't take it personally. It's not meant personally. It's business. It happens, and it's odd because it is a business. That's what it is. Getting entertainment to audiences costs money, makes money. It's just weird that on the other end of the audience, we're emotionally tied. They're hitting us in the guts, and nuts, hearts. I shouldn't have said the middle one. So we are very much, as a cast, in the same position you guys are. We're tied to things emotionally as well, and for different reasons, and maybe even more reasons, and maybe even better reasons. These guys are awesome. They don't give you a ring and tell you here's why. They don't shake it out for you, and so sometimes it's a little bit of heartbreak with no true, what's the word I'm looking for? Resolve, closure. I love you guys. Hey, Angel. Hi, Kaylee. Her name's Kaylee.
For me?
For Kaylee.
What's your favorite part about playing Kaylee?
As an actor, I think you can't really help at the end of the day but take a little piece of that character home with you. A little bit of residual something, a little dust or something from that character. And she was a very warm, open, full of love type of person. And to take that home with me every day, I miss that.
You start seeing the same archetypes over and over again, you get the same questions. But what's one question for any of you that you wish we would ask and nobody else?
That's not a question we want asked. Because it puts a burden on us to come up with something. That's not fair. We are reactors. I do want to jump off something that Jules said, though. What this show had, that very special things, and I've had the great honor and blessing of being with some very special shows and very special groups of people, is that it came from a platform of love, not fear. And everyone dedicated their love of their characters and the show and the word and Joss and the production and the crew from love. And that's why it shines so brightly for so long, is because you can see on camera, you can see it there, the love. Yeah. There's no fear in the performances, it's just, there's some things I can't say because they're young ears, but from the heart.
There was a TV show that I really loved when I was a kid, and it was one of my favorite shows, and then it all of a sudden stops, and there was never a last episode, at least when I was watching. What happened to Flash Forward?
Oh! I don't know. Flash Forward was really fun for me. Somebody said to me today, like, I'm so sad that you left Space Cases, and the reason why I left Space Cases was because I was under contract with Disney for Flash Forward, which was also a really great show. But yeah, I don't know what happened. And it's funny when people recognize me from that show because they're really not sure where they know me from. So I get, people around my age saying, did you used to babysit me? Place.
Was that where you were the super gothy girl?
No, that was Higher Ground. I've been at this so long time.
How old were you in Flash?
Flash Forward, I was 14. And I'm 19 now. That's my first on-camera kiss.
I remember being on Firefly with Ron, and you were like, oh, we've been doing this a long time. Jewel was like, I've been doing this since I was a kid, 6.
Yeah, you guys were like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if we'll get canceled, you guys. And I was like, we're probably there.
So
Like, this is when I set the show. It's probably, we got Friday nights at 8, guys, we're done.
I see it in the
So dated.
Hi.
In the summer, you'll never make it, kid. This town's gonna eat you up and spit you out.
All right.
And she was right.
First off, thank you all for being here. I will always love Firefly and Castle. You already know that. But this is actually directed towards Adam today. I want to thank you for 3 seasons of a wonderful show called The Last Ship. I want to say that the way service people are portrayed on that show is realistic. It puts them into a good light even under bad circumstances. And so I wanted to thank you for that.
thank you. We're very proud of The Last Ship. We got picked up for season 4 and 5. We just had our season 3 finale on Sunday night, and again, we need bad guys.
Put Nathan on.
Just at one point.
Anyway, it's an honor to work, and it's humbling to work with the United States Navy. We get to climb aboard Navy guided destroyers and some carriers and some been aboard a couple of amphibious ships, and to understand that there are young men and women who run these platforms on our side between the ages of 19 and 22 that keep these things afloat and running is very humbling indeed. You know, I've been doing it a long time, and they're there to help us, and they want us to do well, and we try to honor them with as best and most accurate a portrayal as we can. We have technical advisors that are on our ass all the time, doing it wrong, or you're doing it right, and so thank you, appreciate it.
Hello, my name's Laura. I was wondering if any of you have an interest in acting in theater, because I would cast all of you in a Shakespeare play. That would be.
Did you do theater?
I've done theater.
Do you want to do it again?
No.
That's fair. You guys, did you do theater, Summer?
I do.
You just shit, Sean, you do it? Summer?
I'd love to.
Joel?
Musical theater?
Is that true one? Yeah, I passed 2. That's a lot of work. That's scary stuff, man. That's scary stuff. Getting up on a stage in front of people. I mean, I used to do that stuff. I feel like it's a younger man's game. It's pretty scary.
Well, you did some Shakespeare with Joss.
I did. I checked it up now. It's like, check, Shakespeare, done.
How hard and how much pressure was it to get it word perfect on
Kind of like
camera?
Firefly.
Yeah.
We're perfect. No paraphrasing Shakespeare or Firefly.
Hi, I was just wondering if you could play one of the future scenes that you didn't get to do on Firefly, which one would it be? If you could pick one and do that.
Go, someone go. Sean, go. You have anything you'd like to do? You never got to do on
I mean, I just
Firefly.
wanted lots of babies. I didn't kill you, lots of babies. We're talking baths and breastfeeding.
I would settle for a date.
Firefly?
Yeah.
Return to Jane.
Las Vegas.
James Tropolis.
So, yeah, I'm like Biff. James like Biff. He's got his own casino.
Butters Casino?
Yeah, Butters Casino. Well, the Butters are the ones that clean out the stalls and stuff. But they're not the dealers. I haven't really thought about it too much. You? What about you?
Josh once described like an opening scene to me where we looking at a planet with a ring around it, and as we come in close, we see the ring isn't actually rocks or meteors, the pieces of ships and old derelict. It's the junk ring. It's the junk. It's the junkyard. We mentioned Firefly one time, and it's an orbiting junk thing, and we see like little bits kind of moving between like little fleets, and like they're jumping slowly from bit to bit. And as we get closer, we see Serenity floating lifeless, and all these little bits of little people getting on it and cutting through it. And as they get in the airlock and they close it off and they come in, there's Malcolm Reynolds bleeding and cut, strapped down with giant guns and not looking great. And he's got these two giant guns and he says, "Get off my ship."
Can you tell you what else what was going to happen?
So then. Oh my God. That guy who comes aboard in out of gas and says, "We're going to take your ship." Just the lilt in that voice. "Oh, yeah, we did. We're going to take your ship." Somebody's told me his nickname was Mean Steve. It's like an ironic nickname because he's like a nice guy, but that was Mean Steve. Take your ship.
Sorry, I have to put this.
I love your outfit.
I think I made it. There's absolutely no glue anywhere on it. All hand stitched. Yes, it's what it means. My question is, there are quite a few fan films for Firefly, including Independence War. Do you guys watch any of them or look forward to watching any specific? Shadows on the Wind?
I've seen a few of those things that are pretty cool. I've seen a couple that were pretty dark.
Shadows?
Yeah, Shadows on the Wind. It's coming out hopefully November.
I'll look for that. Is there a trailer I can watch?
There is a trailer. ShadowsOnTheWind.com.
ShadowsOnTheWind.com?
Yeah, there's 2 trailers currently.
All right.
Tweet it to him.
Don't blow it.
Thank you.
Do you recall any on-set pranking?
I'll tell you one that nobody ever really talks about because people talk about me playing practical jokes. I didn't play a lot of practical jokes. I think we're We were between scenes. We had these director's chairs, and I brought a chair with these kind of a fold-out loungers. It has the footrest at the end and the pillow at the other end. You know the ones kind of pointy at both ends and the wide in the middle and an arm. That was my chair because between scenes I would just plop it. I'd be out like a light. I could sleep on a rock in the rain. I tell you that. And I would wake up and there'd be a Polaroid picture on my chest. I go, no, it's a picture of me sleeping in the chair, wrapped in toilet paper, napkins draped up with a plate with pizza pieces on it, and they dressed me up, took a photo, undressed, left the photo. I was impressed.
Was pizza question for summer? When they were brought in to do Dollhouse the week again, was that how was that being back that
he made me giggle like we were second graders, so I had a really good time with him. And I loved everybody. It was really fun. Really unusual role. I was like, can I just like play the cheerleader role maybe? I loved it. It was great.
Hi, Melissa Mari. I'm sorry, no, you first. Thank you. Okay, so I hope this is not too much of a downer question, but how did you guys find out that the show was ending with canceled? How did you kind of process that whole debacle?
You got hammered. That's what you do when you find out your dream job is over, right? That was a terrible day.
It was a terrible day.
Yeah.
And we were, man, there was a lot of slow hand-hanging people walking out of there that day.
Oh,
And I remember driving home.
Is that we went to your house?
Yeah.
Who was at work that day? I was not.
I was.
I had voicemails.
I was doing homework.
calling you.
I was
Yeah,
doing
you
homework
called
with
me.
my 7th grader in the trailer. The States, they canceled us. My daughter's like, what does that mean? It's okay. You don't really need new shoes anyway.
Go to craft service and grab everything you can. I remember thinking,
You're like, what's that on the wall? I'm taking it.
I remember thinking, because we had 3 more days of shooting after we were canceled, and I remember thinking, this is going to be the worst. Every day is going to be a painful reminder of what we're losing. And it's going to be the saddest, most horrifying 3 days of the shoot. And it turned out to be amazing. Like, everyone was determined to squeeze any last remaining drops of joy they could get from this wonderful experience. I was really impressed with how people pulled together, and they're like, we're doing it.
One of the scenes we shot was when my hat arrives at the station for those last 3 days. So we took a lot of joy in that. But didn't Lawrence come and rescue us and take us out?
You did. You took us to a cigar bar as well. Yeah.
Gina's
Gina's husband treated us very nicely and tried to console us.
She called we're canceled. He was like, I'll be right there. Boom. Let's go, guys.
It's good stuff.
Okay, this will be the last one.
He's the last one. I pointed at that dude. You get the last question.
You guys seem to like still be hanging out together and doing stuff. Do you do birthdays or weddings? Tell us, what are you getting out?
Never tell Jewel happy birthday. Cool. She won't be into that.
I've known you forever.
We hang out for birthdays. We do your baby shower.
They're going to be coming to your birthday party. I mean, that would be a way to...
You guys don't know. Birthday parties. Dress up like clowns.
Can I get this gentleman's question? You're last, sorry.
In 2009, San Diego Comic-Con, you had the Chuck panel when they were announced the
You can't prove he did.
You said that every time you grunt, you always think you had Joss Whedon. Have you ever thought about doing a buy more, going back to buy more?
Bymore was the store in Chuck. The thing about Chuck and Firefly is we had 5 seasons, so there was a lot of closure. Loved it. Wonderful show. You know Zach Levi, another great department head. Wonderful. Firefly still continues to hold this special place in my heart romantically because we didn't get to finish the arc you know, we had these arcs that we wanted to finish and we didn't get to do it, whereas on Chuck we did. So this one needs closure somehow. Not, did anyone see that animated trailer that was floating around? Pretty cool. So the possibilities are endless. Love you guys. God bless.
We have a surprise now. You need to think back to earlier in the show. The first person to ask a question was you, correct? And the second one was you. And the third one is you, I believe, right? And the name is number 4. If you 4 could come up, we have a little surprise. You are getting the Firefly cargo crate.